Hi, good morning. It's Friday, November 14th. It's about 10:40 in the morning here. And start off with my little bit of humor. My husband, when he gets sick, pretty much refuses to kiss me. And I always say, well, I'm going to get cold, I'm going to get the sickness anyways, because it's in the house and you're here. And he just refuses to kiss me. He's kind of a germaphobe. So then the other day he was kind of kissing me a little funny, and he had a runny nose, but I said to him, honey, I'm not contagious. I thought that was really funny, and I forgot to mention that on my last one. And a couple other things I forgot to mention on Wednesday. The surgeon, I was kind of I had so much stuff to go over on Wednesday, but the surgeon did mention that it is mild and not severe, so that made me feel better that there's, well, this is terrible to say, but it made me feel better that there are people with a lot worse cases than mine. That's so awful to say, but, and comparison is such a terrible thing to do in life, but that did make me feel better knowing that there are people out there who have that there is severe out there, and what I have, even though feels severe to me, is not. It's more mild to moderate. So that was a good thing. Another thing I forgot to mention is that because the yogurt's working, he suggested something called VSL number 3. That's V for Victor, S for Sam, L for Lima, 3. And it's a probiotic. It's 100% natural bacteria, and there's so much bacteria in it, really good bacteria for you. And I did look it up online, because you can only buy it online, and it's about $80 for 30 packages, and I think that's one per day, so that's just a month. It doesn't seem like a lot if it's something that's helping, but when I'm not working right now, it's not something I'm really considering. And you do have to buy 2 months at a time if you're buying online, so that's about $180, and then plus probably shipping and taxes, so a couple $100 for a couple months. And so if the medication doesn't seem to be helping, that is something that I'm definitely going to look into, because the yogurt is the one thing that is helping, and it is from those probiotics and those healthy bacteria cultures, so definitely something to keep in mind. More people I need to apologize for crying to. My manager, I guess I cried in there before, well, I guess it was maybe my last day worked, when I was trying to tell him, like, I'm really sick, and tell him a little bit about my history and what I'm going through. Before I even got a diagnosis, I was in his office crying, and I warn people right off the bat, because I know when it's going to happen. So he's another person I'd like to apologize to. My dance teacher is another person that I cried to, because when I went in on Tuesday night, I set her aside and told her, look, I'm going to be a bit out of sorts, and told her what's going on. And she's the one that actually referred me to the vicious cycle, but of course I was crying, and people find it easier to share with somebody who's just shared something really with you. So I told her that I had ulcerative colitis, and she told me about some health problems that she had when she was about my age, and so I really appreciated her reaching out to me for that. Again, knowing that I'm not alone. And another thing, I apologize for crying to my dance teacher. Another thing that I've realized along the way is a lot of people could just keep saying, why is this happening to you? Why is this happening to you? And those people that are saying that are people who have been through something similar. Well, not similar like the same symptoms, but something where they had to undergo procedures or surgeries or laser, procedures. And when something's happening to somebody else, they tend to forget about what they've been through, and I've been the one having to remind them. Just my mother, on the phone, her and my grandma were talking about why has it happened to me, a young, healthy young girl, and I'm like, well, my grandma went through colon cancer, and sorry that I'm putting that out there, Grandma, I didn't even ask your permission for that, and Mom, I'm going to out you too. She went through numerous surgeries, about 9 surgeries for endometriosis, and they both forgot about both of their ailments, talking about my ailments, and with my cousin Amanda. I'm not going to out you on yours, but you forgot what happened to you, and you said you couldn't imagine going through what I've been through. I'm like, you've gone through something just as bad as this. So it's really funny how people can put themselves aside to worry and think about somebody else. They've forgotten everything that they've been through, and I find that really interesting, something I might look into a bit more. I've been recommended by everyone who's suffered with diarrhea to take Imodium, and right after my very first walk-in appointment I was told not to take Imodium, and even after my ER visit told not to take Imodium. I was told over and over again by every medical professional that I've seen not to take Imodium. I don't know if it's specific to this condition that I'm having, but it's something that the doctors have stressed me not to take. As much as people have been recommending it to me, and as much as I really, really want to take some, I'm a person that follows the rules, and I always do what I'm told, and so that's something I'm kind of biding my time on. I just feel like because I was medically told not to, that I'm going to avoid that. So unfortunately I can't get relief that way. I'm kind of experiencing an unpredictable array of flare-ups throughout my day. Before it was, I don't even remember now. Every day is something different. Thankfully last night I had an amazing sleep, and I don't know why last night I actually slept through the entire night. I didn't have to wake up to go, which is the first time this whole week that I haven't had to. And I want to think it's because I went so much last night that there was nothing left to go last night. And then even this morning I woke up, and usually that's the first thing I have to do, and usually it's why I wake up. First thing in the morning is that I have to go, and I just went pee this morning. I didn't have any diarrhea, and that was kind of shocking. So I had my breakfast and enjoyed that, because sometimes I put my bagel in the toaster and it pops and it's cold because I'm in the bathroom, because mornings tend to be the worst. Just this whole week, first thing in the morning I have to go, and I'm in there for a long time, and then I come out and I put my breakfast in, and then I have to go maybe 15 minutes later, and that, I don't know why that is, but it's been a trend, and so I've been expecting it. And then even so, with going twice in the morning within 20 minutes of each other, I have to go about an hour later and twice again. So my mornings have been really rough, and today I woke up around 8 and went pee, had my breakfast, still didn't have to go, watched TV for an hour and laid down, and just now I went, so about 2.5 hours later after I woke up. So that was kind of a relief, and again, I have to believe it's because I went so much last night. I actually got to go to a show last night. My friend took me. We got tickets about a month ago, and I went before she picked me up, so before 7:30. I went twice when we were there, and then as soon as I got home I had to go twice. So that's 5 times in 3.5, 4 hours. So that was a really rough evening for me, and not usually my evenings are quite good. Like Wednesday evening I felt so good. I went to my one of my other dance classes, and again wasn't able to do as much as I normally could. None of the spins are happening because that really upsets my insides, but I was able to do a lot more stretching. Because I'm not really doing much right now, it kind of hurts, so I think that's something I might need to do more. And yoga is really good for your digestive tract, and I just haven't had the energy or had my unpredictable moments all throughout the day, so that's something that I've struggled with. So it was good to go to dance, and I felt really good after that. And then yesterday was just a really sad day. I was sad like all day long. I didn't have my highs that I usually do. I restrained from doing a video yesterday because I do want to keep the positivity out there, and even though it would have been ridiculously honest and what's the word I'm looking for, sensitive, and putting myself out there yesterday I felt that it wouldn't be beneficial for me to feel sorry for myself. It's not something that I would have been proud putting out there. Like I said, on Wednesday I'm going to have those ups and I'm going to have those downs, and those are things that I'm feeling and dealing with every day. Yesterday was the first full day I had basically sad all day. That was really hard. And we all have those people that we call when we know what we want. So my best friend I call for some good, hearty advice, and somebody I can lean on and, tell me how I'm feeling without me needing to know. She just knows. Calling my grandma when I want the absolute brutal truth. I call some people just because I know that they're a really great listening ear. Even if I don't want advice back, if I don't want that brutal truth back, I just call those people just to listen. And then my papa, who I call when I want to hear just amazing things about myself. That's so selfish, but I know when I call him, I'm going to feel better about myself instantly. And so I started crying on the phone with him. So sorry, Papa, cried on you. And he, of course, said amazing things about myself, and he actually prayed with me on the phone. And I haven't really brought up anything like that. I'm not a religious person. I don't go to organized church or anything like that. I do believe in God, and something that people can lean on, of course, when they're going through something like this. I've had a lot of people tell me, I'm in their prayers, I'm in their thoughts, and that's something that really lifts people up, regardless of if they're religious or not. And so he actually prayed with me while I was on the phone with him, and that really helped me calm down, I guess, in the moment, because I was crying then. And he read me an article from Reader's Digest, actually, that was by scientists, showing that even people who don't believe, if they know that people are praying for them, or they know that, they're in a prayer group or something like that, they tend to get better, and there's statistics that show that they get better, higher percentage than those people who maybe don't have someone praying for them or not praying for themselves. I'll admit I have prayed a few times, sometimes while on the toilet, like, just give me some relief, God. So that's kind of a sensitive subject, religion always is, but I felt like talking about going to somebody who can lift me up. I went to my papa, and he prayed with me on the phone, so that was nice. So yeah, I've had some relief this morning for how bad last night was. The two after I got home were probably my worst, and usually I get those about early to mid-afternoon. I call them my labor trips to the washroom, because I sound like a person in labor when I'm in there. I'm in pain, and I'm in a lot of discomfort, and I'm moaning and rocking and moving and rubbing my poor lower intestines, and I could be in a movie, I feel like, for all those women out there in movies. I've never been to an actual labor, thank God, for me or for any of my friends or family, but from the movies, I totally sounded like somebody that was in labor, and I thought that was quite humorous, but at the same time, it's really awful, and when they happen, I can't even describe to you the way that I feel, because I just want to get out of there so bad, but have to suffer through it and hope it goes away sooner rather than later. I went for some blood work yesterday, and it's so hard for me to go out in public, number one, because I never know when I'm going to have to go. Usually I'm on my way out the door, and that's when I have to go. No matter how much I try to go beforehand, it just comes when it comes, and there's nothing I can do about it. Or sometimes it happens like right when I arrive someplace, so I always need to know where the bathrooms are, and that's a lot of pins that I've seen is, do you know where the bathroom is? And then there's a little stunned face, and it says, I know where all the bathrooms are. And that's how I feel right now. I always need to know where they are, whether I'm at the hospital or at a friend's house, or not that I've been anywhere really, but I always need to know where the bathrooms are and be in running distance of one. So I went to and another reason why it's hard being out in public a lot right now is that I look so miserable, and I'm usually so happy, and when I go out and about, I'm always like, I get a high being around people. Like, I'm a really outgoing, I'm a huge extrovert, and when I'm around people, I get, I get a high and I get a rush out of that. So I'm always happy and always smiling, and so it's really hard for me to see people reflecting my face back at me, and that's really hard because I'm always smiling, and so it's really hard to see the pain reflected back. My grandmother sent me a nice little, looks like a quote from a book. It says, "There is a story they tell of two dogs, both at separate times walk into the same room. One comes out wagging his tail while the other comes out growling. A woman watching this goes into the room to see what could possibly make one dog so happy and the other so mad. To her surprise, she finds the room filled with mirrors. The happy dog found 1,000 happy dogs looking back at him, while the angry dog saw only angry dogs growling back at him. What you see in the world around you is a reflection of who you are." And that actually happens to me now that I'm not reflecting the same happiness that I was. So that's hard. So I went to get some blood work yesterday for them to test my iron, and the nurse there, of course I shared more with her than I needed to, but I didn't cry on her, so that is a really good step in the right direction. She was, really old and really sweet, and she, there was a little, like a stress ball curling rock on the desk beside me, so I asked her, I'm like, what is that? Is that a stress ball, or do you just really like curling? Or I didn't really know what it was for. And she said it's only her. She brings it to work every day for women who have long nails, so that when they're squeezing their fists so that they can check your veins, they're not poking themselves or stabbing themselves in the hand. Like, that is the nicest, most thoughtful thing. Why don't other doctors' offices do that? I mean, I don't have fake nails, but my nails are quite long, so I do stab myself. I just never noticed it. So then I got to use the little curling squeegee ball thing. And my veins are really funny. Sometimes it's my left arm, sometimes it's my right arm, and it just depends on the day. And then I've had a few funny things where they were taking a whole lot of vials one time, this is about a year ago, and the vial was like vibrating, and I can hear the clicking of the plastic, and that made me ill. That was gross. And then just for the very first time when they were doing my IV, my vein jumped, and I've heard a lot of that. One of my good friends, hers does that, I think, often, and mine have never done that. So they're going through some weird things right now. So she tried my right arm, which, works 50% of the time, and she stabbed me, and of course it didn't work. And I mean, I've been through a lot in the last couple weeks, so to me, just whatever. I didn't really care too much. She was so apologetic, and she kept apologizing over and over and over again. And so then she switched to my other arm, and she got it just fine, and took the blood, and I could have gone on my merry way, but she just kept saying she was so sorry. And I told her, look, I've been through a lot in the last week, so, don't even worry about it. It's not a big deal. And I kind of let out a big sigh. And she said, well, that was a really big sigh. Like, are you okay? Are you okay? And I just said, well, I've been through a lot. And of course, I shared much too much with her. And she even said to me, well, I didn't ask for all of that information. She said, thanks for sharing it with me, though. And I said, I'm sorry for giving you too much information. I said, this is my way of dealing with it. And I'm telling random strangers now about my condition. And I think it's just me getting rid of it. And it was the first time I told somebody without crying. So that was a really big positive. That was after I spoke to my papa. So we'll see if that continues. And then she made a little joke saying, because she kept apologizing, and I said, it's really not that big of a deal that you poked my one arm. I used to get allergy injections once a week for months and months and months, and they stabbed my muscle, and I've been through it all. So she's like, look at me, I'm old, I never miss. So I was her first double poke that day, so that's why she was so upset. Let's see. Yesterday, my husband went grocery shopping, like I said that he was going to. He actually found me lactose gluten-free margarine made by Basil. So that was really nice. He also found me seedless jam, because I was really upset about not being able to have my fake peanut butter and seedless jam sandwiches, which is so funny because it's no longer peanut butter and jelly, it's fake peanut butter and seedless jam sandwiches, which is a mouthful. But yeah, he found all of that stuff for me. I think I asked him to look for seedless jam because he said it was possible, and I'm like, no way. But he found it, so he's a keeper. I think I'll keep him. In regards to finding the margarine and the jam and stuff, it's getting these days, with gluten intolerances and everything and lactose intolerances, it is so much easier to eat healthy. And so when I find my triggers, it'll be easier to go around that. So I'm not too concerned about losing things that I once loved, because I'm sure that there's going to be something to replace it with, except tomatoes. Let's not go there right now. I don't want to talk about that. Let's see. Oh, I was going to talk about going to the show last night. I actually got ready, did my hair, did my makeup. It's something I put like a little bit of makeup on, I think, on Tuesday. But other than that, I haven't really worn any, and I definitely haven't done my hair. I never ever do my hair, even when I'm working. And it was pretty hard getting ready. I felt weak, I felt tired, I felt dizzy, but I felt it was necessary because I just want to feel functional and I want to feel like myself. And she even said to me when I got, she told me I looked really nice, and we always look nice, so that was nice. But she said, she made a joke, and she's like, I was going to message you before and say, just wear your yoga pants and don't wear any makeup. And that would have been totally fine with me on any other regular day of the week where we're going out much past our bedtimes. We're getting old. But I felt it was really necessary to get dressed up and feel good. I think there's more therapy in that than people think. I just, you see so many people out there who are sick and who are ill, and they don't take care of themselves, and they don't, put regular clothes on every day, and that can take a lot out of somebody and make them look the way that they feel. And I've never been a girly girl ever, and people know that. I girly girl about some things, but like makeup and stuff, it's never been a big thing for me, and hair, and I like to look good, but I don't care too much to spend a lot of time on it. So I feel like, though, it still makes me feel good. My days are going by really fast, and I think I'm really thankful for that, because I'm so used to going to work, going to the gym, going to dance, running errands, and I'm so used to all of that every day that I thought my days were going to drag being at home. And I've been at home for over a week now, fully, and I honestly thought that I was going to be bored to tears, and I don't know what's happened, but my days are going by so fast, and I'm really, really thankful for that. I can get on to the next day faster. So that's really good. The medication that they're giving me, the 5 of the 800 milligrams of Asacol, they definitely wore on my stomach yesterday, so crackers are my best friend. I've been eating a lot of crackers. As soon as I start to feel weak or sick, they're the first thing I go to. I've been having a lot of juice too, try and keep my sugars up, because I'm not having lots of fruit like I usually do, so I'm switching it with juice, again unsweetened, and that seems to be helping. I did get a call from, it's not called Alberta Health Services anymore, they're called Alberta Healthy Living. And I find, I saw someone's post on Facebook said, is it not called Alberta Health Services because we weren't getting any services? And I feel like they've serviced me quite extensively, so I'm perfectly fine with the name change. Healthy living is something that I've been trying to promote for the last 4 years since I went through my weight loss journey. So I feel like that's a good name. Anyways, that's besides the point. They did call me, and I have a dietitian appointment scheduled for next Friday, so a week from today. And so that'll be really good, something I can really look forward to. My specialist appointment was changed to Tuesday, not Monday. That's just his own schedule that he had to go around, of course not mine. Although with how good I feel this morning, I'm really hoping that, I still have to go, but I'm really hoping that the medication is kicking in, and it could be just a placebo effect or something, but they did tell me it was going to take a while to kick in, and for how awful last night was, it was really, really awful. If I can have my days okay and my nights not so good, that's probably my best case scenario, because then I can go to work, and then hopefully my stomach gets used to the medicine, and then I won't be upset to my stomach, and hopefully just get some energy back. And I think, if I can get to doing the yoga there is actually one for ulcerative colitis. If I can do that, it's good for digestion. Obviously, I'll get some energy back that way, because I feel like when I'm in the house all day, my energy is going to be low, even if I wasn't sick. And yeah, okay. And then yesterday I had my blood work, and then the specialist office is just a few doors down from there, so I brought them flowers yesterday. As I spoke about in my first video, they were going to book me yesterday, the 13th, for the colonoscopy, and that would have been a week of no medication still, and no nothing. And even though I did get worse after taking the medication, I don't know how it could have been if I hadn't had the colonoscopy last Friday. So I guess it's been a week now, and so I'm really thankful that they were able to get me in, just because they were kind and could hear that I was going through a tough situation. So I brought them flowers, probably a bit late because our conversation was, I guess, last Wednesday, so over a week ago, that they were able to do that. So I brought them flowers late. Better late than never. Another long video. Sorry about that, guys. I know some of you are at home sick too, so I guarantee you guys are going to be watching. Other than that, this is my way of collecting all the information and putting it in one place. Before I started this last week, I was texting or Facebook messaging or emailing or calling and saying the same story, 20 different ways, and this was an easier way for me to get it all out there. So if you are asking me how I'm doing and you haven't watched my videos yet, I'm sorry, I'm just going to say watch the video, because it's a half hour in my day, and in a half hour of yours, which does take quite some time. It's just, this is the easiest way for me. And if you catch me on a good day, I might go over the information again, or text or email or phone. Nothing else to talk about today. I'm really glad that my sad day yesterday is over, and today is a new day. Every day is a new day, and I've been taking it day by day, and hoping to get better every day. And I know that the prayers are working, and thank you everyone for keeping me in your thoughts. Couldn't really get through this without everyone, I feel. Well, I'm sure you guys have faith that I could, because I'm so strong. Even though I've shown a lot of weakness, but I feel that, I'm going to do another bad quote. Just a warning. That quote that says, crying isn't a sign of being weak, it's a sign of being strong for so long or too long. And I think that's where I got to yesterday, is that I'd been strong and been telling everyone it's okay, and then maybe forgot to tell myself that it will be okay, and I just kept telling everybody else. And then you can practice what you preach. It takes a bit more effort. I can tell people how to eat right. I'm really good at that. I can tell people what exercises to do, but when it comes to yourself, sometimes you don't follow your own directions. So I think I just need to convince myself that it's going to be okay. If I keep saying it, I feel like I keep saying it to everybody else, but I really need to believe it. So that's the direction I'm going now. And that's all for today. Don't know when the next post will be. We'll see how much information I collect, or how my emotions are, how my condition's doing. I'll update you. If you have any questions, I can post it on the video as well, and go from there. So thanks again for watching, and have a great day, have a great weekend, and be happy and healthy. Oh, damn it, I stole that, didn't I?